Okay, good evening.
Sir.
Good evening. Okay, wait. This screen, is it visible? The
Yes,
natural
sir.
resources and their use. Okay. Okay, today we entered into NCERT 8 standard. Okay. And new edition. So as usual, I said in the beginning, when the classes are at a higher level, the contents are more and which are much more important for the prelim level and mains level. So listen carefully. Adukapram, I said to take notes also. So try to complete the notes every day or in the next day before the another classes are about to start. So in the 8th standard, around 6 chapters are there, and all the chapters are very important. And in the first chapter, it talks about the natural resources and their use. So here it is not that much concepts are not there in this chapter. Many facts are there this chapter, because you know very well the natural resources talks about the renewable and non-renewable resources, and what is renewable resources and what is non-renewable resources already you have studied, and how we can preserve and we have to use these natural resources without depleting and without exploiting, so that it could be used or it could be remain available to the future generation also. This is what going to talk about the natural resources in this chapter. So here one of the person he has talks about the quotation. He has the chapter start with the quotation of that particular person. The concerned social scientists are clear on what we need to do. So we must move towards a regenerative economy. So we should know what is regenerative economy. The meaning itself in that word is a system set up to restore, renew, and revitalize resource rather than just sustaining them. Actually, we are always talking about sustainable development, sustainable resource. Okay, sustainable means using or utilizing the existing resources so that the same resources will be remain available to the future generation. That is what sustaining or sustainable development. Okay, but the author he says not only focus on sustainable or simply sustaining those resources. Instead, the revitalize and restore and renew the resources. That is what regenerative economy. So revitalize and re means again, and vitalize means energy. Okay, an economy. An economy, again, he is continuing with the what's the meaning of regenerative economy. It is an economy that operates in harmony with the nature. Okay, repurposing used resources, minimizing waste. This is most important. And replenishing. Okay, replenish means replace with someone to fill. So depleted resources. We must return to the innate wisdom of nature herself, the ultimate regenerator and recycler of all the resources. The last line talks about the nature. Okay, nature itself having the regenerative capacity and recycle capacity. This is what he says. And this is one waterfall you noted down in the map, Dudhsagar waterfall in Goa. Then in this diagram talks about micro hydel power plant. Okay, micro na mini, hydel na related to water. So power plant, that means in Himachal Pradesh. So that means water flow is converted into electricity. Okay, normally the hydroelectric power used to generate like this. Okay, this is the micro level. In macro level, capacity used to be very high. Okay, so water will enter into turbine. So turbine will rotate. due to the force of water, and it will that rotate is a mechanical energy. Okay, this mechanical energy will be attached with a shaft or rotor. Okay, where coils will be there. Okay, so that will the dynamo effect, if a coil is placed in the magnetic field, if it start to rotate, then it will generate electricity. Okay, in that concept. So mechanical energy is given by the flow of water through the turbine, so that will generate electricity. So this is what hydropower electricity. Then is an offshore oil rig extract petroleum from the seabed, below the seabed. So these are the natural resources. So when does nature become a resource? It's a simple word, say statement in this paragraph. Okay, the one of the meaning of the word nature is the totality of life and non-life forms ellame சேர்ந்தது that are part of our environment. Okay, and just read this entire paragraph. So come to how we are going to categorize the natural resources. So we are going to categorize the natural resources into two, renewable and non-renewable. It will be here. So before that, some of the explanation has been given. Resources essential for life. General statements are given. Life could not exist on earth without the air we breathe. Okay, the water we drink and the food we eat. You know very well. And we take these from the atmosphere, the rivers and the ponds, and through the cultivation of soil or other living things. So we cannot make the air we breathe, because you cannot create or you cannot generate air we breathe. We cannot generate the water we drink and soil which gives us food. This is what is the essential life of life. The resources are essential life, essential, most important for the life, justified by this paragraph. And resources for materials. So human being create physical objects. So many things are we are creating from the material which are available in the nature, like chair, then many things are there here. Only one example has been given, which is from the wood, a natural resource that is transformed into chair. So many examples we can give. And India's, this points you noted down separately, the India's geographical diversity. Many times we have talked about diversity means a cultural diversity, but here a new term has been mentioned, that geographical diversity provides us with a wide variety of natural resources, from wood to marble and coal to gold. Okay, so if you look about the India map, the resource map, okay, India have everything. Okay, it is not equally distributed, but it is geographically it is distributed from some of the specific area. That is what the word it is called, geographical diversity. And resource for the energy. So why energy is needed? For electricity, for a building, transportation, all type of production purpose. Okay, so these energy can be from diverse natural resources like coal, water, petroleum, natural gas, sunlight, wind, etc. Coal from coal, again electricity is being generated. So like example, NTPC, National Thermal Power Plant, National Thermal Power Plant. And through coal, they previously, before electrification of the railway track, the rail engines were used coal. Okay, and water, through water we can we are generating electricity. One, then water is used for the transportation purpose also. Then petroleum, you know very well. Then natural gas, then sunlight and wind, again it is used for so many purposes, especially for the electricity generation. So that is why energy is the cornerstone of all the modern living, and where electricity for transportation, everything is everything is got through these natural resources. This is what. Now the renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, and a general principle of nature is that it functions restorative and regenerative way. Restoration in the process means it's a process of returning something to its original healthy state if it has been degraded or damaged. In the example, suppose a big tree is there, the tree fall on earth and it was eaten by the microbes, then again the new tree will start to grow. So like that, one of the small example. So here in this paragraph, the example is there how the nature regenerates itself. Nature works a cycle where there is no waste. Take a forest, and let's see a tree falls in the forest, it decomposes, the bacteria, fungi and insects feeding on it, the tree becomes a part of the soil, enriching it. Okay, soil ku vandu oru urama irukudhu. The new trees and plants grow from the seeds. Eventually some will fall and the cycle start again. Okay, so these are the examples of nature's principle of restoration and regeneration practice. This is what the author in the beginning, the quote he's mentioned. And renewable, what is renewable sources? So renewable sources exhibit these characters over time. Most of India, abundant sunshine. Okay, India, we are in the tropical region, so where availability of sun rays are sun intensity is very high. Okay, so in the natural course, and the rivers are fed regularly by rain, melting glaciers. So we have another some natural resources are there, especially the renewable resources comes under this category. Solar energy is there, wind energy, energy from flowing water, timber from forest are the renewable source, as long as we are able to manage them in a sustainable manner. So okay, it will remain available. Okay, non-renewable means you cannot regenerate again. If a petrol எடுத்துக்கோ, coal எடுத்துக்கோ. So coal, if you are keep on exploiting, once it was over, so that cannot get it back again, then you cannot generate coal again. And petroleum வந்து ஒரு அளவுக்கு தான் it will be available in the resource point. மொத்தமே எடுத்தாச்சு அப்படின்னா then you cannot create the petroleum again. So they are non-renewable sources. Renew பண்ண முடியாது. Okay, renewable sources mean it is remain there. There is a difference between these two. So see, non-renewable resources are created over a long period. Same statement definition they have given in the renewable source. That is renewable sources are exhibit these characteristics over a time. It's every day it will be there, but this one, it is created over a long period of billion year ago. It took to convert into that material into the current utilizing resources like petroleum and coal. So they cannot be replenished at the rate what we use them. For example, replenish அதுக்கு பதிலா என்னொன்னு அதுல fill பண்ண முடியாது. They cannot be replenished or they cannot be refilled at the rate we use them. For example, fossil fuel எடுத்துக்க. Fossil fuels எல்லாம் coal and petroleum. And minerals and metals like iron, copper and gold are non-renewable sources. India has sufficient quantities of coal resource. So we mine coal. Mine na தோண்டி எடுக்கிறது. Coal to meet our growing needs of energy. But it has been estimated that the coal resource in India may last another 50 years. இன்னொரு 50 வருஷத்துக்கு you can take the gold. You மனம் சுரங்கம் நிலக்கரி சுரங்கம் சொல்லல, mine means சுரங்கம். So ஒரு 50 வருஷத்துக்கு available. After that நீ எவ்வளவு கோல் வெட்டி எடுத்தியோ அவ்வளவு கோலுக்கு மாற்றா ஒண்ணு நீ வைக்க முடியாது. This is what non-renewable source. The demand for electricity has been increasing in the population expand as the population expand, and the development works also accelerate. Appo to meet the electricity need, we have to go for the alternative method to convert that resource into electricity. That is what we have to go for the renewable resources, not non-renewable resources. Okay, this is what. And how the natural resources are being distributed. It is in the map. So this map is more important, and you have already said wherever map related pages are there, you have to mark it on the plain map, in the political map, or one more map I said, no, physical map. Okay, so separate with a separate topic of natural resources in India and போட்டுட்டு you mark all the points, and here it is mentioned, the dot mentioned coal, and the triangle with the yellow fill about oil, then iron core and bauxite. Okay, And otherwise, here I have made one statement. Listen, wait, see. These are the summary. Summary means already we saw this one. The regenerative economy in a system set up to restore, renew, and revitalize. Re means once again, and vitalize means vital means energy. So revitalize the resource rather than just sustaining them. And replenish means ஒரு இதை replace பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கு பதிலா இன்னொன்னு fill பண்றது. Okay, that means to replace what has been used up and make something full again. அது non renewable பண்ண முடியாது. Then nature become resources. For example, a tree, how a tree is example of nature, how the tree is going to use as a resources, as a furniture இருக்கலாம், timber இருக்கலாம், and they now we can use for the charcoal இருக்கலாம், whatever it is. Okay, how a nature become the resources. Then just now we had about renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So renewable means the solar, wind, and energy from the flowing water and timber from the forest. And non-renewable, the coal and petroleum and minerals and metals like iron, copper, and gold. These are all. So just while taking notes, you make like this. What are the examples for renewable and non-renewable? And this one I have taken it from the map. In the map, it talks about where oil reserves are there in the Mumbai High and Basin and Ankleshwar. Okay, these are all the oil reserve area. And coal, Bokaro, Jaria, Raniganj, Korba, and Talcher. Okay, and one more thing, geographically, you should understand this area. See, coal maximum in this area. Listen, Jaria, Bokaro, Raniganj, okay, Korba, and in Tamil Nadu, it's a Neyveli. Okay, so where the coal resources are maximum, that's we call it different plateaus are there. Malwa Plateau, Mewar Plateau, and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, and if it talks about bauxite, so bauxite, Koraput, and Bilashpur, Amarkantak. Okay, so while taking notes, you write like this: oil resource in India, coal resource in India, and iron. We have abundant iron resource, especially in the Western Ghat region. Majority of the iron ores are there. See, these are the Western Ghat: Ratnagiri, Goa, Chikmagaluru, then Kurdemok, maximum in this region. So like this region wise, you can make it where the mineral resources are accumulated in particular area. Okay, then these are all talks about the industries where near to the natural resources create employment opportunities. These are all normal, and township will grow and the economy will opportunity for others also. Then quality of the life become modernized. Okay. Here onwards, you have to read something seriously. So nature does not pay attention to political boundaries. The nature means not only talks about a tree, it talks about wind and water and everything. So water mainly the water flow, it's in the river flow. So river does not pay attention to the political boundaries. Okay, the river is, suppose if it starts from the Karnataka, the Kaveri, it won't say that okay, now my next is Telangana or Puducherry or Tamil Nadu, I should not enter. It is not like this. That is what. So because of this reason, and there is a tension regarding the water resources between or among the states, and international water disputes also there. For example, sharing of Kaveri river water with among Karnataka. Still now the dispute is going on. Okay, so Kaveri river water dispute is with Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Puducherry. And some of the other water disputes also there. That also you can note it down. So one is Kaveri river water dispute. This one. Another one is Krishna river water dispute. So which are the states are involved in Krishna river water dispute? It's again Karnataka, Maharashtra, then Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. Then third one, Mahanadi. River water dispute. It's in the state. Dispute is in the state between Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Then Mahaday, or one more name is Mandovi River. Another name is Mandovi River. This is between Goa, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. Then another one is the Ravi and Bias River. River water dispute. This is between the state among Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. Okay, one more additional information. The article in the Constitution, Article 262, talks about it grant power to the Parliament to adjudicate the Tirpayam, adjudicate inter-state river dispute. Anyway, the much more point regarding the interstate river water dispute we will study in the mains level class. Okay, just now you just know what are the river disputes are there in India, and we are having the international river water dispute also, like Teesta River with the Bangladesh and Indus River with the Pakistan. Okay, so that also we will study in the class. Now come to the chapter again. And natural resource curse. That is something, some regions rich in natural resources can experience slower economic growth and development. That is called natural resource curse. Natural resource நிறைய இருக்கும், but there won't be any no develop at all. So on the areas. So main thing is this one. The challenge என்ன challenge na, that challenges the balancing resource extraction with the sustainability remains. Over exploitation should be avoided. Okay, that is what the challenge. So for that enna venum, the main point of view, you can make this valuable point. The valuable starting, but human knowledge, good governance, strategic planning. These are all help to make the natural resource in a balanced way. And how what are the effect will be there if we are not using the natural resources in a wise manner? What will happen? The biodiversity loss will be there. Then the groundwater depletion, drought will be there. So groundwater depletion means using over ground excess groundwater, especially in the Punjab region. Okay, and another third one is improper use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides that will lead to soil degradation. So that is why it is encouraging to use the pesticide like use of cow dung and other natural fertilizers, then mulching and multi-cropping. Okay, these are the holistic soil management. You noted this point also. See this one I said, in the case of Punjab, the over exploitation of groundwater. So what will happen? It will severely depleted. And as they are going for the high yield varieties, it will take more. See here, in 1960, the farmers shifted to high yield varieties of wheat and paddy. So it took more water rather than the compared to traditional seeds. So farmers began to extract groundwater to meet this need. So the supply of free power also led to over pumping of groundwater. And the modern farming technology also required the chemical pesticide and fertilizers. So finally, what will happen? The dissolved in the groundwater with the fertilizers and pesticides. So because of this one, around 80% of the area of Punjab has been classified as overexploited. So these are the map, in the Punjab region. Then in the case of cement, so here one example, we cannot imagine the life without cement. So how the ancient period or medieval period, how the forts are being developed with the use of mud, okay, instead of cement. The Jaisalmer fort in Rajasthan, a mud structure built in the 12th century and refurbished later using sandstone. So that exploitation of soil will be minimized, and it will reduce the pollution also. And in the ancient one word is there, Vriksha Ayurveda. Vriksha means tree. Ayurveda means science of life or health. So traditionally using the tree for the solution of human disease. That is what recommended by the ancient period of time, which was mentioned in the language Sanskrit. And one more example from the Sikkim. Actually, Sikkim is the first country which was declared 100% organic farming. So how it become possible, that is explained in this paragraph. The organic farming in Sikkim. The important point is here it is. Wait. In 2016, Sikkim became a 100% organic state with all of its farmland certified organic. So they used natural pesticides using neem and garlic, and they were started multiple crops across the year, not single crop every time. So because of this one, what effect has reflected, the local biodiversity flourished, increased, and the insects and birds returning, tourism increased. So farmers' income also grew by 20% on average. So today Sikkim serves as a global model, demonstrating that an entire region can successfully transition to sustainable agriculture practices. So this is what we have to study in the mains, how it has been transformed. What are the agriculture practice are innovatively used, that we have to study separately, and so that we can try this model to rest of the countries also. And responsible and judicious use of resources. Even in the days, we need maximum electricity as population also increase and development also going at a peak. So how we are going to harvesting the electricity through natural resources? So that is what here. This one is in the Rajasthan site. It was one of the largest solar power plant in the world. Okay, and through this solar power plant, around 15% of the current is in the Rajasthan is met by solar energy. These are the blue colors are solar panels, and these are all solar panel near in the Karnataka Raichur. And we had an international solar alliance with France. This is also important point. India and France launched the International Alliance for Solar Energy. Okay, a coalition of sunshine-rich countries committed to harnessing solar power. So this alliance focus on countries blessed with abundant sunlight throughout the year. India has helped channel billions of dollars into solar projects across developing nations, sharing technical expertise and creating affordable financing option. And Badla Solar Park is a symbol of India's solar ambition. இதெல்லாம் தனியா நோட் பண்ணிக்கோ. And it's a India and France, they initiated this international solar alliance. I think this is all about the natural resources. The next chapter we are moving to the history in the same book. So this is the next chapter, the reshaping India's political map. This chapter is all about medieval India. சரியா, கொஞ்சம் போரிங்கா இருக்கலாம். ஏன்னா ஹிஸ்டரி இந்த என்சிஆர்டி வந்து ஹிஸ்டரி வந்து ரொம்ப டெப்தா இல்லை. they are simply giving the summary with the important event and important rulers. அதனால connectivity is கொஞ்சம் it will be difficult. But in the history class, we will study everything in depth. For example, how one emperor transformed into another emperor. For example, if Chandragupta Maurya, the Mauryan dynasty, if it is decline, means what was the reason for declination? Post-Mauryan period, what was the condition in India? Then afterwards, in the any foreign invasion or any foreign people were ruling in the Indian area, Indian territory. Then how Gupta emperor started, how Gupta empire become the vast area in India. Then what was a decline for the Gupta emperor? After Gupta, the post-Gupta period, what was the situation? Then who came to how the foreign rulers, especially the sultans, how they reached to India. Okay, so how long they were ruling. Then how Mughals entered. So which was the initial setback, or எது வந்து முதல்ல பாபர் உள்ள வர்றதுக்கு எது காரணம்? Okay, so when he entered into India, what was his mind, what was his aim before entering into India? So அதுல இருந்து Mughals kingdom எப்படி flourish ஆச்சு. So when Mughals was in the highest peak administrative style and expanded area, what are the other kingdoms were regionally increasing their power? Okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் எப்படி பிரிட்டிஷ் உள்ள வந்து, this is what in depth we will study in the history class. But NCERT, as it is 6th, 7th, 8th standard students, they could not understand much more in-depth factual things. That is why simply they have passing or crossing the history by highlighting the issue and just mentioning some of the important ruler. Okay, so that is why it may get boring, but okay, anyway as aspirants we have to study everything now. So listen carefully. So it start with a picture here. One picture you know very well. This is a Qutb Minar. Okay, you know, and this is that iron pillar, I think. This one, and nearby Qutb Minar, one more Qutb Minar, one more Minar was about to built, but before that the king will die, and he wanted to build this one, double the height of this one. Actually, this Qutb Minar actual height is around 72.5 meter. It is in Delhi. Is where the location is called Mehrauli, and it was built by the Minar. Minar was built initially. It was built by Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay, so in the 991199C, so started by Qutbuddin Aibak, and he started only first floor, and with the purpose of calling the people for a prayer. That's what Minar solo. Okay, so later his son-in-law, or son-in-law யாருன்னா இல்துத்மிஷ், அவர் தான் finish பண்ணிருப்பார். He finished the rest of the floor. And one more historical information in the government website, it was repaired by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Then Sikandar Lodi, and after British, a Major Smith. So these are some of the persons who repaired because due to the lightning stroke and natural calamity, some of the damage used to happen. So that was repaired by these are the rulers. Okay, and now they start with the time scale. So here they have started from directly from the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so 2 to 3 minutes you listen to me from where we started. கொஞ்சம் போரிங்கா இருக்கும், but okay, recall once again. So we started history around 10 lakh year before, correct? Around 10 lakh year before to 10,000 BCE. This one we called Paleolithic Stone Age. And one of the example I said in Chennai, the Pallavaram is a Paleolithic site. அப்படின்னா என்ன, Paleolithic 10 லட்சம் வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னால, இல்ல around 10,000 years முன்னால, the people were living in the Pallavaram who was a Paleolithic human being. Okay, and then we studied 10,000 ல இருந்து ஒரு 8,000. So they are a Mesolithic period. Then around 8,000 to 4,000, Neolithic period. Then around 2,000, 2,700 or 750 in some NCERT it is there. இது எல்லாமே BCE, before Common Era. So to around 1900 BCE. இது யாரோடது? Indus Valley Civilization we studied, right? Then around 1900 the declination of Harappan civilization or IBC civilization will start. So from 15 or 400 வருஷத்துக்கு there is a we don't know what happened there. So around 1500, 1500 BC to 1000 BCE it's a Vedic civilization. No, sorry, it's a early Vedic. early Vedic period. Then around 1000 BCE to 500 BCE, later Vedic. Then after that we saw at around 600 BCE. A common statement I keep on saying at 600 BCE or 500 to 600 BCE, there are two changes: state formation and religious formation. Religions. The religions, two religions were flourished and peaked that time. One is Buddhism and another one is Jainism. Okay, so 563 BCE to 483 BCE is the time of Buddha. And again, around 540 BCE to 468 BCE is the time of Mahavir. That is Jainism. Then we know the state formation. Because of state formation, Janpada, Mahajanpada, and one of the Mahajanpada was Magadha. So last king of the Magadha, Dhanananda. So Dhanananda was defeated by Chandragupta Maurya. So around 321 BCE to 185 BCE, it's a Mauryan dynasty. Okay, then one more point also we discussed in the previous class. So what had happened to the southern side? In the southern side, around 300 BC to 300 C Common Era. Actually, this is changed because of the Keeladi. After Keeladi excavation, it was proved that it is further 300 years before. That means 600 BCE. Okay, that is Sangam age. Okay, then again come back to the northern side. 185 BCE to 75 BCE. This is a post-Mauryan period. During this time, we saw in the map, Indo-Greek rulers were ruling. Indo-Greeks were ruling, and Sakas were ruling in the northern side and northwestern side, and Sungas are ruling there, and Kushanas. Okay, so Kanishka is one of the famous rulers from the Kushana dynasty. Then again, after the long gap, again 322 550 Common Era. It's not a BCE, it's a Common Era. The Gupta Empire. Then 606 to the year line important கிடையாது, but overall தெரிஞ்சு வச்சுக்கோ. And 647. The 647 la da yarna last king, the Harsha dynasty, the Harshvardhana will die. So that is called Harsha dynasty. So around 650 la irundhu 650 to 1200 வரைக்கும். See, southern la yaar irupana? Not southern, in the northwestern side la Palas, in the Bengal side, Palas, Pratikaras in the Gujarat side, Pratikaras and Rashtrakutas. Okay, and around 1200 not only saying 1200, around 97 வந்து Muhammad of Gori and Ghajini, they will start to expand their kingdom from the western side. So exactly in India, around 12,000, around 1206 to 1526 common era. இதுல யார் இருப்பானா Delhi Sultanate 1. So during this time, the first one is slave dynasty. அதுல தான் யாரு Qutbuddin Aibak and Iltutmish. And after Iltutmish, then Iltutmish, Razia and Balban, they were all comes under slave dynasty. Then Khalji dynasty, Alauddin Khalji, Jalaluddin Khalji, இவங்கெல்லாம் famous ruler. Then Tughlaq dynasty. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Feroz Shah Tughlaq. Then fourth one, Sayyid dynasty. And the last one, the fifth one, Lodi dynasty. And the Lodi last one, Ibrahim Lodi, யாருக்கும் பாபருக்கும் இப்ராஹிம் லோடிக்கும் சண்டை வந்துதான் அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேட்டில் ஆஃப் பானிபட் வந்து the Babur entry will took place. Okay, so அதுல இருந்தா நமக்கு the Mughal dynasty will start. So that will happen in the first battle of Panipat will happen 1526. And அதுல இருந்து ஒரு 300 வருஷம் வச்சுக்கேன், 250 years, 1707 the last Mughal active emperor of Mughal dynasty, the Aurangzeb. So this is Mughal dynasty. And major rulers, first is Babur, then Akbar, in between Humayun also there, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan, and the last one Aurangzeb. So in South India, what will happen in 1336 to around 1406 வந்து விஜயநகர கிங்டம் இருக்கும். Empire. Okay, this is what overall. If you look this timeline, it is easy to see. இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்தோமா, the establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so afterwards, establishment of Vijayanagara Empire around 1336. Then establishment of Bahmani Sultanate again. Then around 1390 Taimur attack will be took place. Around 1498 Portuguese will come to India. The Vasco da Gama, first person will reach to the South India. Okay, so in this chapter of medieval means in between two ages. Simply they have given the explanation for this one. Come to another one timeline. Here again in the 1526, the first battle of Panipat. If you want information regarding first battle of Panipat, it yarkana Babur versus Ibrahim Lodi. So Lodi was defeated, and in the first battle of Panipat, first time the Babur army used the gunpowder they used. Okay, and about second battle of Panipat, it is around 1056. The second battle of Panipat. That was in between Akbar and Humu. Then one more battles are here they have mentioned, that is Battle of Talikota. Okay, Battle of Talikota in the year 1565. இது யாருக்குன்னா around 5 Deccan dynasties, sultans, around 5 Deccan Sultanates versus Vijayanagara Empire. அவர் யார் அப்படின்னா அலியா ராமராயா. But finally he was defeated. Okay, and the 5 பேர் யாரெல்லாம் விஜய்பூர், then Kolkanda, Berar, and Bidar and Vijaypur. These are the 5 the sultans in the Deccan region. They were started with an agreement and fight against the Vijayanagara kingdom. Okay, then another one, battle of Haldighati. It is between the Maharana Pratap with Raja Man Singh of Amber. Between Mewar Rajput and Raja Man Singh versus Raja Man Singh of Amber. Amber and Mewar in the rendu kolla sanda adhan battle of Haldighati. These are all important one of important battles in the history. Then the new era in Delhi journey here, simply India's journey begins in the early 11th century. Actually பிரச்சனை என்ன அப்படின்னா, the western region no one was cared about. This one already we discussed. In the northwest region, including the Afghanistan region, because India means not only the India at present territory, it was Pakistan and Afghanistan. So in the northwestern region there is no the protective measures, because in the north we are having Himalaya, and other 2 sides we have the greater seas. Okay, so that is why this was not taken care of by any other regional kings or kingdoms or emperor. So because of this reason, so many foreign invaders or foreign rulers start to reach India and ruling for more than decades. Okay, and in the beginning it starts from around 11th century, and it starts with the Turk or Afghans people they entered, and so again it talks about Qutb Minar, leave it. And we begin our journey here with the Delhi Sultanate. It was formed after the defeat in 1192 CE of King Prithviraj Chauhan. Actually, this Prithviraj Chauhan, the Battle of Tarain. The first Battle of Tarain happened in the 1191. Okay, and it took between Muhammad Ghori versus Prithviraj Chauhan. In the first battle, Muhammad Ghori was defeated. And within 1 year, he consolidated and he strengthened his army. So in the year 1192, the second Battle of Tarain. Again, Muhammad Ghori versus Prithviraj Chauhan. So in that, Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated. So here onwards, the Sultan 1 started. Okay, so listen. Here onwards, the 5 successive foreign dynasties of Turkish and Afghan origin of Mamuls. Mamulkna enna slaves. Okay, so first one, as I said, slave dynasty. First one is slave dynasty. The slave dynasty la yaarla irpana Qutbuddin Aibak and Iltutmish, then Razia. This is only the woman sultan in the history of India, and Balban during the medieval time. then Balban. This is a slave dynasty. After slave dynasty, it's a Khalji. So here two major kings were there, Jalaluddin Khalji and Alauddin Khalji. Then again Tughlaq dynasty. So Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Feroz Tughlaq. Then Sayyid dynasty, Qasir Khan was one of the famous ruler. Then Lodi, the Bahlul Lodi. Okay, and last one, the Ibrahim Lodi, who called the First Battle of Panipat. The fight took place between the Akbar and Ibrahim Lodi. Okay, so from that onwards, the Mughal kingdom will start. And the Sultan period was marked by political instability and combined with the effort of territorial expansion also. And some of the coins marked by Alauddin Khilji. And he was mentioned Sikandar's Senai, or a second Alexander in person is the meaning. Then in the 14th century, Alauddin Khilji conducted military campaign over the lords of north and south. And during his period, the Mongol invasion took place. These are some of the important points. And during this period, his slave general Mali Kafur, so Mali Kafur, he reached to till the Madurai, Srirangam, Madurai, Chidambaram, and possibly he about to reach Rameshwaram also. So this is the first time here a northern empire ruler reached to southern side. Afterwards, no one reached, and before that also no one dared to reach to southern face the southern rulers. And a few decades later, again Tughlaq dynasty start. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he was a if you take the history after the Mauryan Empire, here mentioned it, for the first time since the Mauryan Empire, the most of the subcontinent was now under the one ruler, that is Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And he had his dream was very big. He had ambitious schemes. Okay, but execution was very poorly. He was executing. அது நிறைய கதை நமக்கு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஓகே, அதாவது எப்படியாவது நாம் சாதிக்கணும், that strong desire will be there to succeed, but அவருடைய எக்ஸிகியூஷன் பார்த்தா ரொம்ப போரா இருக்கும், poorly executed. அதுல one example, he will shift the capital from Delhi to Daulatabad, southern side வருவார். அதுக்கு வந்து he named it Devagiri. The present day that place is called as Sambhaji Nagar. அப்புறம் வந்துட்டு ஏன்னா அவர் என்ன நினைப்பானா, மத்தியில இருந்தா it is easy to control the entire India, and he will shift the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, and he will inform all the people from Delhi to new capital. Around 1500 miles வந்து கூட்டு வர 1000 மைல் 10 கிலோமீட்டர். மறுபடி இங்க செட் ஆகலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு again he will return from Devagiri to Delhi. அப்ப அதுல உள்ள ஒர்க் ஃபோர்ஸ் காஸ்ட் எல்லாம் பாத்துக்கோ. This is one blundered mistake. The second one, that's what he thought it's a more central location would offer better control of the empire. The people were forced to travel over the 1000 kilometers, and few years later, as his plan misfired, he shifted the capital back to Delhi again. Okay, both the transfers resulted in the great loss of life according to some sources. அடுத்தது என்ன சொல்றானா, he will introduce token currency. டோக்கன் கரன்சி என்ன சொன்னா, யார் யார்ட்டெல்லாம் கோல்டு சில்வர் இருக்கோ அதுக்கு ஈக்குவலா நீங்க காப்பர் காயின் வாங்கிடுங்க. அப்ப நிறைய பேர் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, காப்பர் காயின் வந்து ஈஸியா மின் பண்ணலாம், நமக்கு செலவு கம்மி. ஸோ மேக்ஸிமம் நம்பர் ஆஃப் காப்பர் காயின்ஸ், அதாவது டூப்ளிகேட் காப்பர் காயின்ஸ் ஆர் அவைலபிள் இன் த மார்க்கெட். ஓகே, மறுபடியும் எல்லாத்தையும் முடிச்சுட்டு திருப்பி கோல்டுக்கும் சில்வருக்கும் கொண்டு வருவார். ஸோ it is what all the cheap copper coins are declared to be token, and and have the value of silver or gold coins. Okay, anyway, it was a progressive idea, but at the same time, this created confusion in the trade and encouraged the people to counterfeit copper coins, all which everything is cost or reached to economic failure. The second one. And the third one major things is majority of the sultan's officials, they were living in the luxurious palace, elaborate clothing, jewels and ornaments. These are all okay. And because of this reason, this Muhammad bin Tughlaq could not able to maintain his territory in a well-versed manner. And some sultans, they were ordered, they imposed jizya. ஜிஸ்யாங்கிறது ஒரு டாக்ஸ் ஆன் த நான் முஸ்லீம் பீப்புள். ஓகே, யார் யாரெல்லாம் நான் முஸ்லீமோ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணணும். அப்படின்னா என்ன, அது எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா we the people, we the Muslim ruler or the Muslim community or Muslim sultan, protecting you from the foreign invasion or any other person, other services. That is why you have to pay the tax. That is called jizya. So first time it was imposed by Iltutmish, and it was abolished by Akbar. Abolished by Akbar and reimposed by again Aurangzeb. And during this period, the Turk Mongol conqueror, they reached to India. One of the main ruler, Taimur invention took place. Taimur invasion that we will study in the class. That much brutal invasion was mentioned by the many historians. Okay, entire Delhi he rooted with bloodshed and all, and he blended all the things carried away to his country. And here one word I want to mention. அவர் ஒரு வார்த்தை எழுதியிருப்பார், the war with Timur, war with infidels and to gain something by plundering the wealth of the infidels. Infidels கடவுள் நம்பிக்கை இல்லாதவங்க. See here, literally someone who does not share the faith. Okay, for medieval Christianity, infidels were Muslims or pagans. For medieval Islam, infidels were Christians or in the context of India, Hindus, Buddhists. Okay, அதனால அவங்க வந்து you blend the wealth from them. அதுதான் அவருடைய கான்செப்ட், டைமோட கான்செப்ட். Next one, what are the resistance they got to the Delhi Sultans, then Vijayanagara Kingdom. Okay, much more things are there that we will continue tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow no class, and we will continue again from Monday onwards. Okay, so today we will wind up the class up to this topic. Okay, thank you then. Take your notes, complete the notes of all the NCERT topics by Monday. Okay, thank you.